All right, welcome to the well. Here in Boston, it's Marathon Day, which is fun. All right, so let's
It's
sort
tax day too, isn't it?
what?
Tax day? Is
Oh,
it?
yeah, it is tax day, Marathon Day.
I'm free.
Oh,
Okay.
right. A plug for Grounded Dreamers Business Services. Yes,
Yes, it's coming.
it is coming. It's happening.
Okay.
All right, so let's presence in and just take a moment to identify something in your life right now that you're grateful for. It can be anything, anything at all that you're grateful for. And just take a moment to just let yourself acknowledge that gratitude, anchor it, write it down if you can, if you have a pen handy. And then let's jump right into the reading, which is coming out of the shift reading that we had last week, which was so powerful. I had really, really powerful week. So curious how others' weeks were. And let's move into this powerful reading.
Yes, that
Yes.
shift reading, the shift of the eclipse, and also our April Soul Challenge, which is to find
Mm-hmm.
ways to reduce our stress
Mm-hmm.
and address our stress. And I
Mm-hmm.
think this falls off of that too, like you mentioned in the session.
Mm-hmm.
So we open up with fire spirit energy.
Mm-hmm.
Fire, we're in Aries, but right, that's part of it. Fire sign, trailblazer, first sign of the zodiac.
Mm-hmm.
Also, where do you put your energy? Where is your energy going?
Mm-hmm.
And this is call for an assessment, a self-assessment of where am I putting my energy
Mm-hmm.
without judgment. I'm doing that too much. I'm not none of that.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see it
Mm-hmm.
and see the division or the um, allocation of your energy and where that what those focal points are in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got suppression. And this is, on the heels of that, kind of saying, where am I what's lying dormant? What needs to be addressed that hasn't been brought to the surface? Or what do I need to express that hasn't been brought to the surface? So it's just a call to observe it, to identify it. There's no action to be done yet. This is your inner work first. And we all have areas that are more dormant than others. Like you should, see my shelves, they need dusting or whatever, right? Because of where your attention is, predominantly is. And um, so it's just calling awareness to it. And then I got breathe. So this is presencing into your body, into this moment, slow it down. Like we said, there's nothing to do yet. It's just, centering in and allowing for your observations to take hold, for you to absorb what you're learning. And then I got balancing spirituality and practicality. This is definitely staying grounded, staying present as you start to maybe reach for a higher realm or develop a new version of yourself, right? You're being more in touch with your higher self, getting a different perspective on where you're putting your energy, right? And maybe setting your sights on something new that you want to develop within you. Like say you're a procrastinator, or that maybe with this suppression, maybe you don't express yourself fully when you could or when you need to. So pay attention to that and then set your sights on developing some of that so that you can create some balance with your energy. Then I got ayahuasca, and this is rebirth. This is, the ayahuasca ceremonies, and it's really a mind expansive process to go through, but it's mastery of your higher self. It's really opening up your mind and purifying through letting go of the things you think you know, right? We're taught, okay, in society, in our family, in our upbringing, from our own experience, we're taught what to think is right and wrong and good and bad. And then we stick with that, right? But there's no expansion there. So this is asking you to go ahead and let go of all the things you think you've known and rediscover what's within you. Is there some passionate part of you that hasn't been released yet? right? The suppression card comes up again. Is there a part of you that needs to be, to break the surface and breathe some air into it,
Mhm.
right? So
Right.
it's
Let your
it's
soul on
healing.
fire.
Yeah, yes. It's healing yourself first within, and that helps to create healing energy for everyone around you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that higher self quest to
Mm-hmm.
develop that. And then I got this card called In the Middle of the Bridge.
Hmm.
And this is to
I don't
remind
think
you,
you've ever pulled that card before.
I don't think I have. It's from
Yeah.
that really wild Dreamweavers deck. I love the little stories that it
Yeah.
tells.
This is a new card.
It's a new one. But if you see the balance there
Mm-hmm.
of the middle of the bridge between
Mm-hmm.
the dark and the light,
Mm-hmm.
the yin yang symbol, the different all the symbolism of the dualities, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that you can find a comfortable space between all that and be present and be available, right? This card talks about deep and compassionate listening,
Mm-hmm.
either of your own higher self or between a conversation between you and the divine. This could be with another human, listening, learning from their viewpoints,
Mm-hmm.
learning from their experiences. And it could also be your creative endeavors with that you want to maybe something's been suppressed that you've wanted to create, and that this gives you an opportunity to co-create with the divine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's being available for information that you don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes with this as well, releasing what you know to
Mm-hmm.
discover more.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got iceberg, and this is indicating that
Mm.
you don't even know the half of it, right?
Right.
And it's really that there's always more to be discovered, and that
Mm-hmm.
maybe if you practice this in the middle of the bridge energy, to
Mm-hmm.
be willing to receive, but also exchange what you know, right? Exchange gifts with one another, right? Willing to receive, and also putting out there your experience and what you know. That creates maybe a release of some of that buried, that's that suppression card too, a release of some of that buried energy,
Right.
or just a discovery for yourself, into areas and realms that you haven't ventured into yet. So there's always more to be discovered. There's always more beneath the surface. And then the final card of this spread is new vision. Here you are. It's caught air now. Whatever that was hidden or out of your realm,
Mm-hmm.
you're starting to be able to realize there's so much more to
Mm-hmm.
to so much more perspective to have, and more things to reach for than I ever thought. I don't have to play it small.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just occurred to me too with the iceberg image that when we come out of freeze, right, part of our sympathetic survival system is to go into fight, flight, or freeze.
Mm.
And freeze is what leads us to the collapse of dorsal vagal. And so when we come out of that freeze state and our parts start to balance and come into greater harmony, there's almost like a thawing experience that happens. And it does allow, like what's been suppressed and submerged, it allows for it to surface. And that can be very scary for people because they may feel like they don't know what to do with what's emerging or how to understand it. It can be confusing. They may feel like they don't have the skills, to navigate what they're coming up against or facing. So, it's a really delicate process to be with our system when that's happening.
Yeah, and that ayahuasca card too, that journey,
Oh,
that's what that's
yeah.
about. It's breaking apart all your pre-decided
Yeah.
visions, thoughts, and ideas, and really
Your
it
ego
could
structure,
be
really.
your ego structure, and it
Mm-hmm.
could be frightening sometimes, that journey, because
Yeah.
it's that same fight, flight, freeze vibration.
Yeah. Thanks for saying that because I just want to say too, like whoever's listening to this, like if anybody does choose to go on an ayahuasca journey, like, it can be an amazing thing to go through, but make sure that you create lots of time for integration after the journey, lots of time for integration so that, and with support, with sophisticated professional support, because those journeys can really open up and bring you beyond the veil. And so it's really important to have like a very sophisticated integration process coming out of it. Yeah, just wanted to say that. Yeah, to do it safely and with the most healing benefit. And that can take many forms, right? The structure that you create for that integration. Yeah. So yeah, beautiful. Oh my gosh. So just take a moment, everybody, and start feeling into and calling forth your intention for this week, like wherever you are in your journey. Just start to think and feel into what's important for you to stretch into, what's going to bring you more vigorously into your life. Or maybe it's about taking a step back and being with what's emerging and finding balance in that. So just take a moment, or something else completely different, and just start to see what's there for you for your intention this week. And then let's move into the second part.
That's perfect what you said too about and of course that ayahuasca card was not, we weren't saying go and try that, go trip out on ayahuasca. It's really the energy of it, right?
Yeah,
And
but it's also, if people do want to do
the
it,
way to do it.
yeah, there's beautiful places in the Northeast and South America, like people do it and they have transformational experiences. So
yeah,
it's totally your choice.
Totally your choice. And then we open up this next spread, speaking of beyond the veil, with veil.
Right. Right. The clearing, right, from the fog.
When you said that, I was like, oh yeah. Yeah. So there may be, like, remember we ended with this new vision and with things coming up from that are submerged and that are showing up for you, new direction to go, a new wisdom teaching to consider, or
I
new
love that
creative
wisdom
project.
teaching.
Yeah. Or a new creative project. And this is indicating that at some point on our journey, the fog comes in and it's not so clear. And maybe you've, taken this new vision card a few steps down the road, and then you hit a place where it's like, ooh, I'm not sure how to proceed next, right? So this is just a reminder that it will come and go. Fog kind of always comes and goes. There will always be an opportunity for a clearing and for clarity. So it's really a reminder to be present and going with the flow. This is another reminder to just be exactly where you are. If this is a creative endeavor and you have like, oh, there's like, this is the end point I know I want to get to, you'll get there. But if you rush there, you're moving ahead of the energy and you're not going with the flow. And maybe you miss something, and maybe it's not as fulfilling as it could have been. Or so really reminding you to pause. Speaking of, and I got meditate and contemplate as well. So it's really, and this is, the moon in Pisces. So this is your higher realms. And, those Pisces, that outer planet, it's your ability to expand without going anywhere, without making a move. It's just expand the energy. And then I got past lives, and this is another sort of cautionary card, kind of saying to review, over your lifetime. Maybe you've gone through a few up levels in your spiritual journey, or in your personal, persona life, your real world life. And this is just making sure that you review and see if you can catch any patterns. Maybe there have been other creative projects you've started and then you've hit a wall and you gave it up, or other creative projects you've started, you've hit a wall and then you busted right through it, and then the outcome wasn't as pleasant as it could have been. So review, learn from your past experiences as well, leading to even more transformation. And this is from the inside out. This is this is all of this work is transforming your own energy to create a different result in your waking world. So, and it's not a quick process. It's incremental, and it should be comfortable. I think, there's moments of discomfort, but it shouldn't be way out of your range, right? Just keep moving down the road, keep going with that flow. Then I got love, and this is just our lovely reminder to use our heart energy, compassion. Self-compassion always comes first, and then compassion for others, compassion for others' point of view, like we were talking about earlier. So
Yeah.
always with the heart, that is like the hub for creating movement. Always comes from your heart, right?
I want to just ask you to qualify what you just said about comfort. It should be you should be comfortable, I think you said. I just want to invite you to say a little bit more about that, because in my experience, whenever I've gone through breakthroughs or transformations or shifts, it's not comfortable at all. But there is comfort in knowing that nothing's wrong and all is well, right? So it's not comfortable.
Yeah, I don't mean complacency.
Well, but even that, like, it's not comfortable in like the 3D reality of how we define comfortable, but I find comfort in it by saying nothing's wrong. This is a transformation that's occurring. So I just want to bring that perspective in, because I don't want people to hear what you just said and say, well, there's something wrong with the way I'm going through this then, because it's not comfortable.
Oh yeah,
So,
no,
right?
I did say there are going to be moments of discomfort, I think, if we play that back. And
Yeah, no,
I get what
totally.
you're saying. And yes, that's a definite, when we're talking about energy, definitely. It's not, we talked about ayahuasca. It's not comfortable. Sometimes we have to break down our old paradigms. And yes, there's always comfort if we can reach that place in knowing I'm on my way. We're okay. This is
that nothing's wrong.
Yeah, love that.
And that, this is happening for me, nothing's wrong. Breakthroughs can lead to breakdowns, can lead to breakthroughs, right? It's just important, because that's where we can, by transcending this duality world of 3D and this world, the waking world, as you said, by accessing these higher levels of awareness and consciousness, that's where the comfort comes. Yeah. By aligning with it, right? And maybe that's aligning with God or aligning with Allah or whatever your spiritual beliefs are, like that comfort. So there's different levels of comfort.
Yeah. And by remaining present, that's where
comfort.
That's where you can access the most of your
by remaining present. Yes.
By remaining present. That's yeah.
Yeah.
And then there come the times where I'm remaining present, but I can't see where I'm going next. That's not comfortable.
No, but we can remind ourselves that we're safe in the journey, and that, it's about the process, and that nothing's wrong. But it's what I just want to come back to the breathe card. That is the best way to access these higher levels of awareness, by bringing our breath online and presencing to that.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful reading about embracing our fire spirit energy and deepening our ability to access parts of ourselves that we may have in our shadow realm, right? Out of our conscious awareness, our blind spots, and then using practices, spirituality, techniques to break through and kind of break free of these constraints. Holding us back.
And when we're doing this work and we make a decision, right, to break through, we made that decision. We made, and then when we do the breakthrough and it feels shaky, we can remind ourselves that we made that decision to create this. So if it gets to be too much, you can make another decision. You're in charge of it at all times.
Right. We can choose again.
Perfect.
Yeah. To keep choosing, to keep remembering, I'm choosing this. Because if we're not choosing it, then we're willfully resisting it.
Yeah.
And that creates more resistance.
And even more discomfort.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Creates stuckness and more barriers. And so by choosing, then we have we're most empowered.
And we're always choosing. It's by having the awareness that we are, because we're always choosing, whether it's blindly or
it's about awareness.
Yeah. And that's where the breath comes in.
Yes.
Breathing.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you.
I have a couple more cards. Sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were done.
We stopped with the heart-centered energy. And then I got frog spirit, and this is renewal.
I'm sorry. I thought that's right.
We have a couple more.
I was like, oh yeah, it's all about the heart. Yeah,
all about love. It is all about love, which leads us to that sense of renewal, and that now we get to see a new version of ourselves on our journey, and it comes right over the submerged card. So that is when it catches air, right? When it thaws. You have a sense of renewal. You have a sense of a fresh start, or fewer obstacles, maybe. And then the final card I got is this friendliness card. And that's just reminding you to remain in with breath, to remain in your own being as you venture off and expand and grow and interact with others or interact with the divine, or it's you and your creative project, whatever that is, staying rooted in what you know is right for you. And with that awareness, like Maria said earlier, that everything you do is your choice. And how it interacts with others or with another realm or idea or viewpoint is not irrelevant, but should not harm you, right? It should not overpower your energy. So then that brings us right back to the beginning. Where am I putting my energy? I'm going to put my energy in rooting and grounding deeply into my own soul. Yeah.
On the earth, right? Connect
Love
with
it.
earth. And all right, beautiful. All right. Well, we had beautiful intentions set at the well this week, beautiful gratitudes and intentions. So I encourage anybody who's listening to this to be intentional about your life and your week, and have a beautiful week.